or welcome back, I should say. And if this is your first, then we're so delighted that you've joined us tonight. We'll get started and I'll introduce myself. So my name is Mary Eleanor Power, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Dalhousie University's College of Continuing Education. So thanks everyone for joining us. I would like to begin by acknowledging that Dalhousie University is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. We are all treaty people. And so tonight's webinar is really focused on those who would like to consider university, and it really never is too late. And I'm going to pass the floor over to my colleague, Jennifer Hann. Jennifer is the Director of Mature Student Services and University Prep Programs. And I will say that we most certainly encourage people to add questions in the chat. If they are questions that you specifically want to discuss with Jennifer about your own personal education journey, or if it's related to transcripts and such, you can certainly kind of reference the questions broadly in the chat, but also Jennifer will be providing her email information at the end, and you can certainly, she would encourage you to have a dialogue directly with her. So, and I should say that the recording of this webinar will be shared with all of you likely tomorrow morning. And in that we'll also have Jennifer's contact information in case you don't have a chance to jot it down tonight. So lots of information there. And now I will pass it over to Jennifer. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mary Eleanor. So welcome everyone. And just to reiterate, my name is Jennifer Hann, and I am the Director of the University Prep Programs and the Mature Student Advisor for Dalhousie University. I also work with our student success team at the College of Continuing Education. So when I asked Mary Eleanor who she thought was joining us tonight as guests, we had marketed this to mature students. So mature students from all walks of life have lots of different intentions, some credit and some other programming that we might that we have offer and available to you. So I'm going to get started on the workshop or webinar for tonight, and I'll be going through a couple of different facets that I think you'll find are interesting. So again, if you're considering university, it's never too late to start. And as a mature student advisor on campus, I often speak with folks that are coming to Dal and or other post-secondary institutions and are kind of interested in doing some comparisons. So many might be considering attending university for the first time. Others are transferring from other academic institutions after a brief period of study. Some might be considering part-time learning in a pathway program, or perhaps getting to back to formal learning by taking a professional or personal development course with us through the College of Continuing Ed. So for many, especially given the last 10 months or so that we've been living through, transition and change, as we know, is inevitable. And as a mature student, not unlike that, you're going to strive to combine work and home, family commitments with study. And many mature students will find it challenging, unnerving, and I should have mentioned, certainly rewarding. So if I'm here tonight to give you a couple of pieces of advice, one would be always remember there are no stupid questions, and any question is a valid one. We certainly are here to answer any questions that you may have. No two cases or individuals are the same, and so your questions will be diverse and very different. And as Mary Eleanor mentioned, I'm happy to answer those in the way of an advising session. And we'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. And remembering that our staff and faculty at Dal are here to help you. We want you to be successful. We want you to achieve all of your dreams and goals. And so we're here tonight to explore some possibilities together. So at the Faculty of Continuing Education, or the College of Continuing Education as we're presently known, we serve diverse learning needs. And so whether you're preparing for university or for a career move, our courses and programs can help you to achieve your personal ambitions and professional learning goals. So really there's kind of two areas within the college that we offer programming in, and they each have various components. If you are seeking a pathway to an undergraduate study program, a degree program at Dal, we offer a number of options for you to enable you to get there. One is the University Preparatory Program, which you'll hear some more about tonight. One is the Transition Year Program, which is a program that is targeted at African Nova Scotians and Indigenous students. It's an 8-month course of study, and it is available through the College of Continuing Education, and details can be found on our website. We also offer English language studies for students that have been conditionally accepted to Dal, but who seek to have to fulfill a language requirement. And on the other side of the house, so to speak, we offer professional development programs. And those professional development programs are designed to enhance your expertise, keep you current with recent developments in your field, or help you to stand out in the job market. Our course offerings include certificate programs in many specialized areas of study. Oftentimes we've had students that have gone to do certificate programs and have tested the waters a little bit, and who have embarked upon undergraduate study, post-certificate or study with us through the college. And the professional development programs are popular with those who are shifting gears, including those who want to build, advance, or change careers. So to get a little deeper into the professional development programs that we offer 13 different program areas for you to explore. And if you look at our website, which is dal.ca/CCE, or as you see on the presentation, faculty/CCE, we have established our program areas into really 13 different buckets. Adult learning and teaching, business operations and management, career essentials, data risk and emerging technologies, executive education, English language, health and wellness, professional credentials, sustainability, and the environment, technical and engineering, writing and communication, university access, and the advising services that we provide, as well as customized solutions for training. So I'd encourage you to take a look at our dal.ca/CCE webpage for more details on programs that might be of interest to you. So for the students that are thinking about credit study, a bachelor's or undergraduate program, many of the folks on the call this evening will be applying as a mature student to credit study. In order to be considered a mature student at Dalhousie, you have to be at least 21 years of age by the first day of classes, be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and not be eligible for regular admission. So we have a specific program that will enable folks really to access a Bachelor of Arts program. They can apply for a first year of that program, and it doesn't require previous university level study. The minimum requirement for admission to that particular program would be a grade 12 academic English with a minimum of a grade of 65%. And admission to other programs will require the completion of other required subjects. So this Bachelor of Arts entrance program is really intended for those that have not studied at a university level, or if you have studied less than 1 year attempted and 1 year of transferable work. And most of the folks that have accessed programs through that have been absent from formal study for a minimum of 2 years. When we talk about access as a mature student, that's one way to come into the university, into an undergraduate program. But there are other programs, as you'll hear about this evening, everything ranging from a Bachelor of Health Science, a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Architecture, Engineering. The list is endless. And so for those programs, even mature students have to possess some of the prerequisites or all of the prerequisites, and meeting those prerequisites doesn't normally guarantee admission. So there are competitive programs, and we can talk a little bit about that as the webinar goes on. So many of you might be pursuing credit study, and in fact, if I'm guessing, the majority would probably fit within that category tonight. Some of the questions that we oftentimes will get as a mature student advisor or a general advisor on campus is, well, what if I don't have the academic requirements in order to be admitted to a degree program at Dal? Well, Dalhousie offers academic upgrading options. So if you need to upgrade your marks, if you need to earn a prerequisite to enter a specific university program, if you need to build your confidence before taking a university credit course, we can help you. So what does that look like? So we offer a university preparatory program that is about 20 plus years in existence. It's provided academic upgrading opportunities to thousands of students who would not otherwise be able to obtain prerequisites. It embraces the diversity of all learners and different learning styles, and it enables us as a college and as a provider within the university to work closely with other campus offices to ensure a full service approach. So for example, we partner with student accessibility or student services to ensure that accommodations or other services that a student needs are part of the overall service and support. The University Prep program offers a flexible schedule of delivery throughout the calendar year. We also offer part-time studies. And as of March this past year, we have rolled our face-to-face courses for the first time 100% online. So it enables the students who are mature students and who are seeking part-time study options in order to gain those prerequisites to do so in a way that it enables them to juggle or accommodate their personal and professional work commitments. So again, those courses are online and they're available in asynchronous delivery. And our university prep team, we have about 10 instructors that work with us on a part-time basis that teach in many of the subjects that you'll learn about this evening. So the university prep program courses, we offer 6 in total, and those are writing skills for academic study, which we talked about being the minimum requirement for admission to an arts program. That writing skills class is essential for a mature student who doesn't have a grade 12 or a recent grade 12 in English, and it is a minimum requirement for admission. Other programs across our campuses also require biology, for example, chemistry, physics, academic math, and or a pre-calculus math course. The way that we deliver our university prep program is that it's runs throughout the calendar year. We offer it in 4 terms, usually April, May, again for summer session in July, September, then again in January. So you'll see just on the far left of the screen, a quick snapshot of what the website will look like. You can drill down, get some additional information on the courses. All of these courses are fulfill the requirement for grade 12 courses. So they are based at a grade 12 level. Most of the students that will take the courses have some high school, but some have dropped out, didn't complete 10 or 11. In most of the courses, students can actually take them. We do provide a review of 10 and 11 concepts. We offer a diagnostic in our math courses just to see where people are best placed, because oftentimes if a student is needing science, pre-cal, for example, to go into a science program, that student might also require an academic math as a kind of 2-phased approach. They may need that before they can endeavor into pre-cal. So we're happy to provide a diagnostic just to see where you are and to use it for placement. So if you have a question, perhaps on, you're thinking of architecture might be for me, or engineering, or nursing, and whatever the courses are, you can seek more information on the courses that DAL offers by sourcing our website at dal.ca/admissions. You'll see lots of important information on undergraduate admissions, graduate admissions, transfer applicants. So those are for people who have already done some post-secondary and who are looking to get some credit for those in our institution. You'll see a category for upgrading and pathways programs, which is essentially university prep programs that are offered throughout our campuses, professional programs, and there is also a category for continuing ed, which will take you again to our College of Continuing Education web pages. So as we go through the presentation, we'll talk a little bit about how you can get some additional information, places to go to seek more information if you're contemplating a decision, or how to set up an advising session with us. I mentioned tonight the university preparatory programs offered through the College of Continuing Education. Our Faculty of Agriculture in Truro campus also offers university prep. So those two are accepted for admission requirements or prerequisites for admission to our degree programs. So, so general admission requirements. Students, again, need to meet the general admission requirements, whether they're mature students or not, in most of the programs. And again, for specific information on your course of study, I'm happy to provide specific information and to guide you in the right direction. But you'll see on that admissions website, there is very detailed information about applied computer science, arts, commerce, community design, and it's alphabetized on that website. If you drill down and click through in each of those, you'll see the requirements are readily available for you to take a look at. So if we were looking at, let's see, a commerce program, the requirements for admission would be a minimum overall average of 75%, an academic English 12, academic math 12, and 3 additional prep subjects. So mature students sometimes have 1, 2, 3, sometimes they have 4 or even 5, and sometimes they need a variety in order to meet those prerequisites for admissions. So that's where you can seek the information that you may need in terms of the courses that you'll require. This is fairly new to DAL. There is a chat with a DAL advisor category where you can say hello and ask questions online through the dal.ca/admissions undergrad website. And so that's helpful. And as well as the mature student advisor on campus, I'm happy to answer any specific questions that folks may have on the many degree programs. So what does an advisor do? Well, there's lots of advisors on campus. There is an Indigenous student advisor. There's a Black student advisor. There's a mature student advisor. There's a whole lot of advisors that reside in the Bissett Center for Student Success. As well, we have faculty advisors in our specific faculties. So for example, the engineering faculty has its own unique advisor. The nursing faculty has its own as well. Why is it important and what can we do? Well, advisors and support services available to all students on campus can help you to create a plan for the future. So connecting with an academic advisor pre-admission is important. So as a mature student advisor, I oftentimes will assist folks in ensuring that they have the requirements for their chosen program of study. As a mature student, we recommend that you do a covering letter in addition to your undergrad application form. It gives us a snapshot into what you've been doing. Many folks have a very diverse and important career path, sometimes that they have elected to do prior to an undergraduate degree. And we can see connectivities that might lend themselves well to how successful a student might be. We can also help you to choose your program of study and selecting courses that you would take in your first, second, third, or fourth year of study. Many mature students will take longer than 3 or 4 years to do a degree. Some can take as many as 10. So we can also talk to you about part-time options as you study. Some will perhaps just do part-time study throughout, and sometimes they'll do a bit of a blend of part-time and full-time studies depending upon their work or family commitments. Advisors can also refer you to other support services at DAO. So for example, academic goals sometimes shift as you transition through the terms or years of study. So having a good, well thought out starting point obviously has its advantages, and then we can readjust or adjust as time goes on and as you begin to study with us here at DAO. Advisors at DAO are available on campus to help, and I think that connecting with an advisor certainly makes a successful transition to university life at DAO. The advisor will help you to understand the program requirements, the academic regulations, choosing your courses of study. So generally after your first year of study, you would declare a major and or a minor. We can help you to do that. We help you to map out strategies to achieve your educational and career goals. We would learn you how to use the strengths to reach your educational and career and life goals. So we also have a career center within the Business Center for Student Success, which is helpful. We can help you to develop action plans to deal with academics or other difficulties that you may have, help you with accommodations. If you're accommodating a disability, for example, we can answer any specific or non-specific questions or problems that you might be having, help you to look for financial aid, bursary scholarships, research opportunities, exchange and study abroad programs in your program of study. So it's really multifaceted, lots of opportunity for you to engage with an advisor. One of the events that Dalhousie is proud to announce is our virtual open houses. We actually did one in September, and we're offering it again on February the 17th, it's Wednesday. And on the Dal.ca main webpage, we have a winter open house register now button. And so I'd encourage you to do that. Even in a virtual environment, very different than our traditional face-to-face. We saw some great questions and some engagement with students. We can follow up within their individual faculties. And you can hear and learn more about more intimate information sessions that may be available throughout all of the faculties. So after today's webinar and in the next week or so, I'd encourage you to go on to that Winter Open House website and to register. Again, it's the second one that we've done, really unique. I had an opportunity myself, as did Mary Eleanor, to work within the platform, and it's quite like real life and lifelike, and does provide you with an opportunity that you might not otherwise have to kind of visit us while we're in our remote working environments. So again, to register, check out the www.dal.ca website and click on the Register for Open House button for more information on the schedule. It's an evening event, so targeted slightly at a mature student demographic, hoping that many more mature students can join us at that evening event. So mature student advising at the university is through me, and to request an advising session or to get some more information on a specific degree program, you can send me an email, and I'm happy to set up a similar Zoom call with you individually or to have a telephone conversation with you and to provide some advice on admissions, and even after you've been accepted into a program of study, happy to talk to you about course selection and any other details that you may need some assistance on. If it is degree specific, certainly I can provide advising. As a student services director as well for the college, I'm happy to provide any advising that you might require as a mature student who maybe is looking at non-degree programs in educational study. Lots of fully online certificate programs available through the college that are non-credit at present, but that will help out in your professional development pursuits, and happy to discuss those as well. And so for other college programming as well, if you have specific questions on the certificate programs and or courses, workshops, or webinars that we have, you can also pop us an email at continuingit@dal.ca, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have. So Mary Eleanor, I think that's the formal presentation, and I'm not monitoring the chat, but I'm wondering.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, so I've just been, there were two comments that just came through, and one had to do with just citizenship, and so I've suggested to Commandra that you'll see that correspondence in the chat, that she perhaps connect with you directly on that. Okay. And then I've also just received a question about the UPrep courses and whether they are accepted across the country or just within DAL. So we just wonder if you can speak to that a little bit.
Sure. Well, the University Prep program is certainly meeting all of the requirements for DAL admissions across all of our campuses, the Truro and our Halifax campus as well. And as I mentioned, university prep programs available through agriculture are also likewise accepted by Dalhousie. Many of our partnering institutions or our institutions across the country, throughout the US and abroad, have accepted university prep program courses for admissions. One of the caveats that, as the director of that program, I always though suggest strongly, is that you reach out to that academic institution. We can provide any details that you may need. Sometimes it's a detailed course outline. Sometimes it's a kind of a catalog of contact or assessments. Sometimes it's in a bio of our instructor, and we're happy to provide that for you. And so that you can check in advance prior to registering and find out if your institution will accept it. I can tell you that at the end of every university prep course throughout all of our terms, we would largely send our transcripts to Dalhousie, to the registrar's office here. But there is about 15–20% of our students who will register in other institutions across the country or abroad. So certainly they are widely accepted, but always just cautiously, I'd like to let people know that they should, it is the onus on them to reach out to their institution of choice, just to ensure that, in fact, that meets their requirements and their needs.
And there's just a follow-up question here about, and again, I'll strongly encourage that folks, in addition to the webinar, reach out to Jennifer to talk specifically about your own kind of personal situations. But Commander's just asking here if they don't have math and will be doing a course that requires it and haven't done 12th grade either.
Okay. So depending upon your required math. So for example, the Bachelor of Science in Nursing requires an academic math, as does Commerce for Dalhousie. The academic math is the more basic of the two maths that we offer. It's a grade 12 academic without pre-cal. That is the most basic. And so we have students that have done, some 9, some 10, and that have been successful in that academic. We do offer the free diagnostic in math, and the purpose of that is to provide people with some feedback on where deficits might be, to suggest review, or even we've done a recommendation where it's not a level that we are able to accommodate, and so we can suggest with one of our institutions in the metropolitan area or abroad that might offer a more basic math. For example, the community college does more basic level math on occasion, and there are other institutions that do as well. But even with, I would say, some 10 and or some 11, most of the students would be successful in doing the academic 12. The courses that we are offering through asynchronous format right now, which means they are instructor-led, but there is a fair amount of self-paced self-study. But we're partnering with Pearson Education for our e-textbooks. And so because of that, we are able to offer a mastery program, really helpful when it comes to math, because there are review concepts from 9, 10, and 11 that students can do as part of their review prior to the course. So lots of opportunities and options to provide you with advice on what you can do, some areas for review. Those diagnostics that we have the students complete, they are marked by our instructors. The marks don't go anywhere, but they are used for placement purposes, and I find them extraordinarily helpful. So we're happy to do that. And if you want to reach out to me by email, we can arrange one for you, just so that we can provide you some feedback on, kind of our lens on how successful that you will be and what review, if any, you might need. And then oftentimes students will also, if they are requiring, let's say, going into an engineering degree or a science degree, or the Bachelor of Health Sciences in diagnostic cytology, medical ultrasound, those programming do require a pre-calculus course. So for pre-calculus, oftentimes it's a two-phased approach. If the student doesn't have any 12, they may need to do academic math 12 prior to doing pre-calculus 12. So we can kind of gauge that a little bit and provide some advice.
Great.
So feel free to reach out. We are happy to arrange a diagnostic.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. And I just have to say, Jennifer has so much knowledge and has been with the college for such a long time that really, even if Dalhousie is not your university of choice, certainly there's a wealth of knowledge that Jennifer has to offer in mature student advising. So would encourage you to jot down her email address. And if you didn't get a chance, then we'll look out for the email that will be coming to you tomorrow with a recording of this webinar, so you can refer back to anything that you didn't have a chance to jot down. We are at our time, and I don't see other questions that have come through, but as I've said, oh, I'm so glad. That's a wonderful comment. Commander said here, it's my only choice. I love Dalhousie University so far. That's great to hear. Just maybe one final question to wrap us up, Jennifer, one that's come through from Kirk. Thank you. How much time should you allow for each prep course? And if I can maybe jump in here, Kirk, we do have a lot of detail. If you go to dal.ca/uprep and click on the link there that shows you the courses that are available, we do list the number of hours that would be required. And I believe, Jennifer, it's 8 to 10 hours per week. So we generally like to include the time commitment there, but you can expect 8 to 10 hours of your own work per week with the prep courses.
Right. And in each of them are approximately 8 to 10 weeks in duration, depending upon the cycle and the term. So, yeah.
Okay.
So if as an advisor, and because of the condensed nature of the asynchronous courses, oftentimes one of the questions that we'll get from a mature student will be, can I take 5 at the same time? The answer to that is it depends. It depends if you're working full time. It depends on if you have any other competing priorities. 5 would be, in my estimation and in my experience, I think a little heavy. We certainly feel that most students could do 2 at a time, depending upon, again, competing priorities, family, work commitments, etc. So happy to talk about kind of possibilities, where people's starting points are, how much extra review they might require, and what would seem to be reasonable given length of away from study. Sometimes, sometimes people are coming direct out of high school and they've had a 2-year break, and sometimes it's been 30 years. And so sometimes you need a quick win and you need a bit of a confidence builder. And so we can talk a little bit about sequencing of courses as well. And again, one of the popular ones for many mature students, if you need that English course, is to start with the writing skills for academic study. If I had my druthers, I would make it an absolute necessity for all university study, because it's not literature based. It really is grammar, writing for university level papers, and an absolute essential skill that positions most of our mature students very, very well as they endeavor into undergraduate studies. So that's a popular one for many mature students, and usually a really good starting point if you're looking at that and a group of others. But also happy to talk about scheduling, commitment time, and sequencing. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Thanks everyone for joining us. If you have any other questions, like we've said, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks so much for tuning in, and take care. All the best. Thanks very much, Jennifer. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thanks for everyone's time for this evening. It was enjoyable. I look forward to your questions.
Thanks very much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.